Our guest, karibu sana. Yes, start by introducing your name.
My name is Peter. I'm a businessman and also a Kenyan citizen.
Wow, I almost forgot. I'm also a Kenyan, by the way. Are you a Kenyan?
That introduction is very short.
You want to hear something else?
Maybe everyone needs to prove that they are a Kenyan citizen.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Do you have a proof?
No, but
But at least I have my ID.
okay. So our topic of discussion today is entrepreneurship. So we are asking, is it true that you can start a big business from nothing or from scratch? To you, our guest, what do you think? Ma, what do you have to say?
I think there are two sides of that answer, because, well, it depends on what is the scratch that you are starting from. Because most people normally say, the motivational speakers normally mislead people, I started my poultry farm with just an egg, all that kind of stuff. I don't think it is realistic, or it makes little sense, not a lot, because for you to be patient enough to start a whole poultry farm from just an egg, it might take you years and years. So I think from how I started my business, I would say it doesn't really start from scratch, but it definitely starts from nothing, because you have to have the business mindset first. You have to have the mindset of, I want to start a business and then I want to grow this business. So I think that is what we might call scratch, like maybe scratching your head, trying to figure out what exactly are you going to do, what kind of a business are you going to start. That is what I would personally call scratching your head. I mean, thinking deeply to decide what business you want to start, and then from there, once you start the business, I don't think you can start the business with nothing. You have to have capital. It's a big lie that we try to sell to the people out there, which should not happen, by the way. Mbona nikwambie that you with an egg you can start a poultry farm?
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie.
That's a lie. And a very big lie.
Well, I had a friend of mine who I asked what he would need to start a hotel, and he was like, just a packet of milk, some sugar and tea leaves, and one bread, and maybe two cups.
Is that even a hotel?
Is that a hotel or a home
Well,
breakfast?
he had an explanation, because when I asked him how would you start a hotel with that, I asked him to tell me the lowest level that he can start when starting a restaurant or a hotel. And he was like, give me a bread, 2 cups, some sugar and tea, and 1 packet of milk, and that is it. I will figure out where to go and cook the tea from. I will fetch water freely from the tap, and then I will move around and sell the tea and the bread. And it made some little sense.
How about a flask?
He didn't mention a flask, so I don't know if he wanted to carry the tea in the
Follow
cups.
the chain.
No, he didn't mention the sufuria too. Well, I think what he was trying to teach me, he was trying to tell me that you can, as long as you're willing, you can do something.
Maybe.
True.
Yeah, true.
You can do something, because also from an experience, when I was getting into business, I met a friend who wanted to start something. Well, it's a guy who had tried everything in this beautiful city of Thika. He had tried to do a lot of things and he had failed. I mean, trying to get employed, trying to sell small items from a distance, and he was giving up. So when I talked to him, I told him he just need to have a purpose, and then he needs to invest strategically, not just wake up one day and buy mutumba because everybody is selling mutumba.
Sure.
Well, you can, if you're lucky enough, you might find 10 customers in one night, and then the following day you have 1 customer, and then it rains in the other day, and you have nothing to eat.
Sure.
So I feel like it is not, the question is not always about how to start a business, but what business to start.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you must have an idea.
You must, well, if you cannot deploy enough resources to do a market study, you have to figure out yourself. You have to move around, try to see what people are trying to look for.
True.
What is the market trying to find out? What are they imagining? What are they wishing that if it existed, things would be better? So, and I told him, well, now that you don't have that capital and you have literally nothing, my advice was that he should go and try to start with something that's very common. Well, it is just something obvious. I told him to start with a check weight business. So we went and bought a check weight machine at China Square around KU. There was a China Square. I don't know if it's still there.
I think it's still there.
Yeah, so we went and bought a check weight machine, one that does not require to be charged. We bought it at 3,000 shillings.
Wow.
So literally that was the capital. And I told him, now that you have food for only the next 5 days, with this machine you need to make some money that will feed you for the other 10 days. And so by next month you should have made enough money, you should have accumulated enough food such that you'll now start saving capital for a better business. Because again, when you get into a business, with time it gets saturated.
Yeah.
When you check people's weight over and over again and you don't have the means to keep moving from one city to another, people will get used of you, and at some point you check all their weights and then there's nothing else.
True.
So I told him that a good target would be salons, where people just go there to relax and they're waiting on the queues. Maybe there's like 3 ladies waiting for their hair to be done. So I told him those are the areas that you target, where you know that people are waiting for something before they get to what they are doing. It's a good idea to check their weight, and then you will be able to earn something. So this is a personal secret that I'm going to reveal. I actually worked with him for some days to try and boost his morale. So we moved around. We did it in Juja, and we also did it in Thika. And for so long people thought that is the job that I do as well.
When was that, by the way?
I don't know if I should reveal that exactly.
Alright,
because I remember people used to Lola kijana wa kilo.
Kijana wa weight.
Yeah, kijana wa kilo. They used to see me, especially the women. I would feel, oh my god, because I would pass through like corridors when I'm doing my daily businesses. Maybe sometimes I have the client and then they're like, wewe kijana wa kupima weight.
Kijana wa
siku hizi hauongelezi watu umepata maringo. And then the client would be like, wait, you do check people's weight? And then the client is like, I thought you were in real estate and all the other in technology. How comes you were in? So it was not easy to cope up with that, but that's just a by the way. So we did work with him for some time. We did a record one because I taught him how to create a target in everything that you're doing and how to be persistent, because our first target was to try and measure at least 50 people per day.
Wow.
So for 50 people we were charging 10 shillings. So we made the first 500 shillings. No, I'm just saying the first day.
Okay.
The first day we went out, we had a target of 50. So I remember we did check some people in Thika in the morning around, it was between 8 and 11. So we did check some people's weight. We hadn't made 500 yet, but we had around 300 and something.
Wow.
So we proceeded towards Crevas, Crevas, and also around Jomoko. By the time we got to Jomoko, we had hit our target.
Wow.
That was on the first day. So he was actually getting interested, but it was also tiresome because you have to move a lot by foot. So the following day we decided to go to Juja, and we gave ourselves a target of around double. So we woke up very early, 100.
So 100.
Yeah, 100. So we woke up early in the morning, we tried to get there in time. We went towards, there's a place called Kalimoni in Juja. Ni huko ndani kabisa.
Yeah.
So we moved around there very early in the morning. Then we found out that most of those areas have like self-contained homes. So
Yeah.
we really struggled to check those people's weights because you go and ring the doorbell, and then when they open the doorbell, they see you with a check weight machine, and then no.
Hata wanaweza mistake na mwizi.
Yeah, they were like, pana.
Yeah.
Some of them would even just look at us and then they pity us, and then they're like, shika na uende, na tutaki kupima kilo, they give you 50 shillings. So and I told my friend, I don't think this is a business that you should be doing all the time for the rest of your life, but it's something that you can definitely start with and accumulate enough capital to do something else.
So if I may ask, did you achieve your target on the second day?
We actually surpassed our target because we got around 1,500 and something, which is slightly around 150 people plus.
Really? So
It
should
is
we start
triple.
the business?
It's a good business, and people ignore that business because the way I thought about it, I was just thinking that machine will at least give him some food, because he was to an extent where I was supporting him together with some of my other friends, and we wanted to show him that he can also do something by himself that would make him proud of himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And show him that he's capable of doing something. So I stopped helping him because I also wanted to see whether he would notice that this can make a difference.
Yeah.
And then about 3 weeks later on, I called him and during the day, and he was like, I will call you later on, I'm at work. And I was like, did you get employed or something? And then I just waited. In the evening, he was like, can I meet you in town? And then when we came, he was like, I'm paying for supper today.
Oh,
I was
Wow.
like, this is interesting. I was like, how is the business going? And then he showed me like he had prepared a safe. The
Safe box.
Yeah, the safe box, the ones that are normally bought, because he was getting a lot of coins. So he would put all the coins there, and then I was asking, how much are you saving per day? He told me on average he's managing to save around 1,000.
wow.
So he's waking
On
up
daily basis.
he's waking up early so that he can surpass 1,000, so that everything extra can cater for his travel, logistics, food, and then he saves 1,000.
Wow.
He only worked for 4 months and
Wow.
changed to another business.
Wow.
So I think I can tell you what he did after 4 months. After 4 months, he came to me and told me that now that I have capital, I want to know what I should do. So he's a young man. He ventured into photography. He bought a camera, the umbrella, and he started doing photography, and now he was making 100 per photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was now not in a rush. He would set up around schools, and he would make sure that he's making like close to 2,000 shillings per day. He didn't have like a huge target or pressure on himself. And he actually had someone else do the check weight in a stable location without moving around, and he just told the person, just make sure you give me 150 shillings per day, because he gave the check weight machine to someone who had nothing as well, but he told him, make sure you send 150 shillings per day, but only for the next 3 months, and then the machine is yours.
Wow.
So he started doing photography for some time, and then after around 8 months or so, he contacted me again and told me, I'm ready to take the next step. And I was really proud of him.
Hey,
Wow.
watu wanajituma huko nje.
Watu wamejituma.
People are doing something.
So
He had enough money after 8 months to start some really good business, because he had saved around 200,000 shillings.
Within 8 months.
8 months.
wow.
Remember, his target in photography was around 2,000 per day. And I had taught him that level of discipline, that if you really want something, you can't compromise. You have to do your best to try and make sure it goes through. So he had, I don't know how he managed to save 200,000 shillings within 8 months. Well, it is practically possible if he was getting the 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he really surprised me to be able to bring that kind of money ready for the next thing. So he didn't have a loan. So when he came and I just told him, do you have any debts? And he said, I don't have any debts. And told him, then your next big step should be trying to figure out what you need to do next. I asked him, what do you think you're passionate about? Because I didn't want him to start a business that I have just told him do this, and it is not something that he does. Because again, in business, when you do something you like, you enjoy serving the people, and people can notice your energy. And when they notice your energy, they are convinced that you will serve them best because they can see you enjoying carrying out the service. So that's how we arrived on milk. He has always been a very good servant at a milk store, way long time ago. So he wanted to start a milk distribution place. So I told him that that could be expensive because he needed a dispensing machine. So he decided to start with a second-hand one that he got from some of the second-hand shops. We went to check for one in Nairobi, but we didn't find one where we expected, so I referred him to someone who assisted him. So he eventually got a small machine, and he started buying milk and selling milk. So after some time, I noticed that he has a motorcycle. He didn't tell me when he was buying the motorcycle, though it was a second-hand motorcycle. And I asked him, how did you fund yourself to get the motorcycle? He told me that the earnings from the milk, because he didn't have a debt, he wanted the first month earnings and the second month to assist him to give some money to someone who was selling the motorcycle, so that he can have the motorcycle to go collect milk and distribute it himself. And so he had someone else doing photography for him. So he had the photography business and he had the milk business. And so he worked for some time, and then sometimes around last year, he decided to take another big step. He bought an Uber. He bought an Uber, and he also got the first lucrative bank loan, because after buying the Uber, he had a logbook now. He bought an Uber without anyone's debt. So he had a logbook, so he got asset financing to buy his first parcel of land. And now he had 3 businesses. He had photography, he had Uber, he had milk business, and a parcel of land. And he didn't just buy a parcel of land. He bought he actually taught me something very brilliant, because he bought a parcel of land in a place where the land is fertile. So he fenced the parcel of land and planted avocados. And I asked him, what do you plan to do with avocados? He told me he doesn't want to wait for the avocados to grow. He wants to give it like only 1 year, at least 1 year, so that they germinate and start growing. And then he wants to take care of the piece of land and resell it after 1 year with around almost double the value or even more. That's his plan, so that he can repay the loan and buy another piece of land without any loan. That was really smart. So
And before we continue, I have a question. What are the do's and don't cause in the business? Because some of us tunaanzianga kabiashara, and then within a very short period isha collapse, imegonga chini mpaka unaweza kulia na pesa ilikuwa ya loan.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm 100% successful businessman. Well, I am successful because I stayed in business long enough to learn the mistakes and rectify them. Well, I'm also still a young person, very young indeed, but I want to try and make a difference as a young age. It's a matter of fact that there's nothing really hard like a young person trying to succeed when they're still young, because you have a lot of a lot of pressure, a lot of barriers, you have a lot of challenges. And remember, when you're trying to succeed when you're still young, you're interacting with people that are a bit older. The majority of the people who have succeeded are a bit older, so it's like you're struggling to fit in a group where you don't belong.
Okay, speaking of older people, have you ever been looked down on by those men who are successful in business?
Of course, it happens a lot. It happens.
And how do you cope with that?
I think what I would say about that is that the most important thing is to understand that when you are trying to succeed in business when you are still young, you need to put it in your bucket list that one of the main challenges you'll be looked down a lot. People will try to see you as inexperienced, incompetent, and inefficient, which is contrary wrong, because I think if you are capable of doing something, then you're ready enough to do it.
Okay. You hear that? If you're capable, you're enough.
Yeah, if you're capable enough, you are ready to do it. So what happened is that my good friend accumulated enough money now, and I'm happy for him. Now, yes, you want to say something?
I think we should take a short break,
Okay.
and then tutarudi after dakika
We'll
kidogo.
be back.
We take a glass of water.
Reliability is one of the things that people overlook in business. It's one of the mistakes that people do, overlooking reliability. Like when you hire the wrong people, which now comes to the next point, which is hiring the wrong people. When you hire the wrong people, it's a big mistake. It's a big mistake, and there is nobody who is automatically written that they are the right people. It doesn't appear on their faces. But as a business owner, if you are not doing the business yourself, you have to search with a lot of precision to try and find people that can fit in your business, and not just fit in, people who can actually buy the idea that you have. It's another big mistake to hire people who don't know exactly what is the end game or the end goal, or what is the main idea or the main agenda behind the business that you're trying to do. What is the business trying to do? If the people you employ don't understand the difference that your business is going to make in the society or in the market, then they don't know your business, and that's a big mistake. So hiring the wrong people can mess you up. Another mistake that people make is lack of planning. You don't start a business without planning. You don't wake up one day and see everybody doing mutumba and you buy mutumba. That's not planning. You need to plan. You need to come up with, what am I going to sell? How am I going to sell? What is my target audience or customers? What is my source of goods? Where am I going to procure the goods from, or get the goods from, that I'm going to sell? So planning is important. Another very major mistake that people make, which is one that has really taught people lessons due to ignorance, is ignoring competition. So when you're in business, you can't ignore competition. So people ignore competition, and then on the long run, it messes up their overall goal. So when you see somebody starting something that you're doing, you need to understand that your business has not just been discovered, but it has also inspired people to try something similar.
Yeah.
You can't ignore them. You need to not oppose them. You need to work with them. You need to talk to them. You need to inform them that we are in this together. We are serving the people, and whoever of us that may have surplus can forward to the other person. And that's how businesses grow together, because it doesn't really harm to have like 4 businesses in the same location where the demand is very high.
Yeah.
It actually pushes them to grow. So competition should not be ignored. You should learn from competition. When you see something that your opponent is doing and you're not doing, you should take the lesson from that, instead of opposing the idea or going. I've seen people go to court. I've seen people fighting others because of starting the same businesses that they are doing, and I don't support that. I feel like competition should be a lesson, not just a message to start war. It should be a lesson, and it should be taken as an opportunity to learn and grow. Now, the other mistake that I would say people make in business is poor management of their resources when they are starting a business. This one, most of us have found ourselves as victims. You start a business and you want to be the boss in the first day. You don't want to fold your shirt and get to work. You want to start drinking tea and milk and bread on the first day at work.
Yeah.
Well, it's not bad, but I feel like when you mismanage your resources, or rather your money, you don't achieve what the overall goal of the business is. So it's a mistake that most people make. They don't budget. So when you're starting a business, you should be able to strategically come up with a master plan of how you're going to spend your resources and what your expected returns or outcomes are. So those are some of the main mistakes that I would say people make. And I would also want to stress on the problem of lack of consistency. It's normally a big mistake. When you start a business today and you don't open tomorrow, you open the other day you don't. If you're not consistent, people will start doubting your credibility, or rather your authenticity.
True.
So when you're in business, you need to be consistent. Whatever it is that you're doing to the people, they need to see that on a daily basis, continuously, so that they are able to at least get to understand how your system operates, how you serve the people, so that they are able to interact with you on a regular basis. So consistency is important in business. It doesn't matter what kind of a business. I mean, being a customer, sometimes you go to the kibanda and you find the person selling is not there. Napata mama mboga hajafungua and you feel so bad.
Yeah.
Because
It's
maybe
actually frustrating.
very frustrating, because maybe that's the day you have secured enough money to buy yourself some meat. You want to have some very proper meal at home, and you need some vegetables, you need some fruits, you need some groceries, and then when you go there, the kibanda is closed. You feel bad. And then the following day, when you have actually cooked the meat only, the kibanda is open and they have all the groceries. They have all the groceries in the world, and the day that you're not prepared to cook, or rather you don't have the money to buy everything that you wanted to buy in the previous day. So consistency is good, and it allows your customers to build that not really addiction, but the goodwill of wanting to buy from you every time.
True.
So those are some of the main mistakes I would say I've seen people make in business. Yeah, any other question?
Yeah, as we wind up now, what is your message to other business persons who are veterans in the business or entrepreneurs?
Veterans, do you mean those who have been in the business for long?
Yes.
For those who have been in business for long, I would...
Okay, let me phrase it like this. Like this. What is your message to them on how they should handle those upcoming business persons?
Oh, that's good. I was about to talk about that. I think my biggest message to business people who are veterans, or rather who have been there for quite some time, who are experienced in business, I would really wish and love that it comes to a point in this country where we have business owners or merchants or entrepreneurs nurturing other entrepreneurs. Well, I am lucky enough to be surrounded by a number of good entrepreneurs who give me advice, but it is not enough. It has never been enough, because sometimes there are challenges that you can't openly talk about. But I feel like if maybe more associations or more corporations or more groups or more business communities can be formed, and they actually allow young people to join, they would be really helpful to young people to try and guide them on what to do and advise them on what to do, because, and also we should have more experienced business people volunteering to coach or to nurture the young people who are coming into business, because it doesn't happen often, but it is something that needs a lot of urgent attention in our country, because most of the young people, they're starting businesses and the businesses are collapsing just because they didn't have someone to help them, to tell them that giving up too soon is a mistake. You need to keep going, you know. They didn't have people telling them to stay persistent, to stay consistent. They didn't have people who would guide them on what kind of financings that they should maybe go for and which ones they should avoid. Because you also get a lot of young people getting scammed when they are starting businesses.
Actually, that happens a lot.
A lot.
Everyone is a victim, I myself included.
Really?
Yeah, when you're starting business, you get a lot of scams around you because people know that you have some capital, so they will definitely try to benefit from you as much as they can. So the best way, I would say, is that we should have the business people volunteering to help the young people who are trying to do business, and also we should have more, like I said, we should have more associations, corporations, business communities, you know, business groups coming up together, you know, business societies. We should have more of that in the country, and we should have people who are actually willing to coach, to nurture, to guide, to help the young people who are chipping into business world at a young age.
And the last question, the last one. How long have you been in business?
Yeah.
Should I talk about what business it was? Maybe
Yeah.
just a hint.
Yeah,
Maybe I
sure.
should give a hint.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, this one might get Kenyans laughing.
Okay.
My first business was probably the same that people say the current president started doing.
Poultry
Chicken
farming.
business.
Kuku.
Ulikuwa mkulima.
Tunaanzianga hapo.
You're a farmer.
Well, I had the options of trying something different back then, but I would say the first time I ever did something that I can call entrepreneurship was trying to do something around the poultry industry.
Wow.
So that was when I was, as soon as I stopped being a teenager.
So you were still in school?
Yeah, I was still in school, but I started it because of the hunger and the desire to do something when you're young. But that was just a small thing that I was trying to do to see how entrepreneurship works. But it turned out to be something nice for a while, and then I decided to shift to something totally different.
Okay.
So I would say I've been in business for, well, if I say the number of years, and I've said as soon as I stopped being a teenager, people might try to estimate my age, but I've been in business for more than 4 years.
Okay.
I've been in entrepreneurship for more than 4 years, and I would still say that even before that I was involved in business, because I started learning about entrepreneurship when I was in high school. I had been involved in some, I would say some family business. I had been involved in some family business in one way or the other. So I started learning about entrepreneurship some times ago, like some years back. So it has helped me, because learning from such a young age, you get to understand the importance of taking care of a business, and you also get to learn the importance of planning in a business. You get to learn the importance of being specific in everything that you're doing in a business. So that's how I got to learn that you can't just invest in business, you have to be specific. I mean, I would personally describe business like a chemical reaction.
Okay.
I would say whatever chemical that you put in the reactor, there is a reaction.
Okay.
So take an example of you have a reactor piece here that has different chemicals, and then you're trying to mix them to come up with something. So business is like that. Business is like a chemical reaction. You have to know what chemical you are putting in, which one you're mixing with, what the outcome might be, what measurements you need to put, and you have to be very specific on even the apparatus to use. So business is like a chemical reaction, in my opinion. What chemical you mix determines the products that you get as the outcome.
Okay.
So thank you.
So thank you so much for coming today. It has been a nice show. Maybe my co-host has something to say.
Yeah, just a few words. Kwa wenye wanaanzilisha biashara, habari ndio hiyo. Take what you have to take, make good use of it, and then at the end of the day unaweza jipata wewe ndo the next millionaire wa kesho.
Yeah.
Na kwa guest wetu, asante sana. Pia sisi tutakuja tufunze hiyo biashara.
We also want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Na tume
I think you should be the first one to learn poultry farming.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Nitakuja tips.
I don't know if I have a lot of tips on poultry farming, but I definitely have some ideas about that. But right now my main focus is technology, because I feel like that is where the world is heading.
Yeah.
So I feel like there is a very big opportunity in the industry, that anything to do with technology has a space in our future. So technology and service delivery is all that I dream about every day.
Wow.
And hopefully the projects that I'm working on can change the world very soon.
Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you so much for staying with us. Keep watching Thika TV, because here we say that Thika TV, the world is watching.